The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on earth nations will be in dismay, perplexed by the roaring of the sea and the waves. People will die of fright in anticipation of what is coming upon the world. For the powers of the heavens will be shaken, and they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. But when these signs begin to happen, stand erect and raise your heads, because your redemption is at hand. Be aware that your heart do not become drowsy from carousing and drunkenness and the anxieties of daily life, and that day catch you by surprise like a trap. For that day will assault everyone who lives on the face of the earth. Be vigilant at all times and pray that you have the strength to escape the tribulation that are imminent and to stand before the Son of Man." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus.
Trước hết con xin cảm ơn cha Tránh Sứ đã mời con để giảng cho lễ ngày hôm nay. Rất là hân hạnh được. Okay, I'm just going to speak in English. It's an honor to be here to celebrate Mass with my home parish. Thì xin lỗi các anh chị em mà nói tiếng Việt, bởi vì lâu quá phải giảng tiếng Việt cho nên thôi mình giảng tiếng Anh thôi. 25 years, that is a long time. You know, I actually graduated from high school 12 years ago, and so I realized that all of you guys who are not Wingju do not know me at all. Okay. So it's kind of strange coming back home and seeing a lot of new faces, right? But all in all, I think that coming home, it always reminds me of who I really am. So I'm going to begin with a question. You can just shout out your answer. I know that I might regret it, but so what is one of your favorite movies? What's your favorite movie? You don't have a favorite movie? Okay, move on. Okay, raise your hand if you have a favorite movie. Okay, what's your favorite movie? Ferdinand. Ferdinand, that's about the bull, right? Okay. How about you? Pocahontas. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Yes. What? Minions? Minions. Oh, the Minions. You mean Despicable Me, like the yellow Minions? Okay. All right. So I like all of those movies. I haven't seen Minions yet, but I have seen Pocahontas and the other movie and Ferdinand. Now, my favorite movie of all time is The Lion King. I'm thinking that a lot of you guys like The Lion King too, right? Raise your hand if you like The Lion King. Okay. So, you know, when I was growing up, I used to like The Lion King because, you know, the music was really cool. You know, oh, I just can't wait to be king, right? I wanted to be king or something like that. Or Hakuna Matata, right? Those songs are really catchy. But as I grew older, I understood what the story is all about. And I think that when we really understand the story, you take a look at our lives and you say, the Lion King is the story of our lives. By the way, did you know that there's going to be a new Lion King coming out? Okay, so I think I'm kind of advertising for that movie. But anyway, calm down. It's okay. I know you like the movie. But I'm going to give you a summary of the movie, right? And tell you why the Lion King is kind of like the story of our lives. So Simba is the main character, right? And he goes down, the antagonist, the bad guy's name is Scar. Now this isn't a coincidence, guys. His name is Scar, okay? So Simba, he goes down into this very deep ditch. And then because Scar kills his father, Simba blames himself for his father's death. So he runs away. In the desert, he faints. And then he gets discovered by who? By a warthog and a meerkat called Timon and Pumbaa. So they ask him, what's wrong? He says, I don't want to talk about it. So Timon, he gives him some very bad advice. The bad advice is, if the world has turned its back on you, then you turn your back on the world. That's some bad advice. I'll tell you why. Because it's running away from himself. He said, forget about your past. Run away with us. And then they teach him a phrase. Do you know what that phrase is? Hakuna Matata. What does Hakuna Matata mean? No worries, right? So Simba grows up singing Hakuna Matata, growing up not worrying about his life. He runs away from his past. He forgets about who he is. And then when he's an adult, Nala, do you know who Nala is? Nala's his childhood girlfriend, right? His friends, but she becomes his girlfriend. Shh. I know you're all excited. Nala comes to Simba, and what does she tell him? She tells him, come back home. We need you back home. So Simba, his whole life is turned upside down. He has grown up living by the theme, Hakuna Matata, forget about the world, no worries. And then he meets his uncle, Rafiki, the baboon. And then the baboon shows him to a lake. He says, look here, your father is right here. Simba sees his reflection and he looks in the sky. Mufasa, his father, appears from the sky and then he tells him, you have forgotten me. Simba tells him, how could I ever forget you? You are the reason why I ran away from home. But Mufasa said, you have forgotten who you are, and therefore you have forgotten me. So he tells Simba, remember who you are. Remember who you are. So Simba has to face his past, the scar in his life. Simba has to go and face the fact that his father has died and he blamed himself for it. So he goes back home, he faces Scar, and he finds out the truth, that he was not the one who killed his father. So when Simba came home, he remembered who he was. He was able to overcome his scar. He was able to change his world. When we grow up in life, we will face many challenges. And many people will tell us, don't worry about it. Run away from your past. Forget about who you are. And quite frankly, a lot of people, they cannot accept who they are anymore. You know, there was this man a few weeks ago. He was suing the government because he was 65 years old and he wanted to be 45. It's true. He wanted to be 45. And the reason why was because he thinks that 65-year-olds can't get a job. They can't get a date. And, well, his doctor told him that he has a body of a 45-year-old, so he wants to be 45. And a lot of times, a lot of people, they want to change not only their age, but whether they're a boy or a girl. They want to change their own nationality. They want to forget that they were born Vietnamese. They want to forget their own skin color. And yet, unless we accept who we are, we can never really face our future. Remember the story of Simba. Until he accepted who he was, his home was not better. And you too need to remember who you are. Right here, each and every one of us is a member of Thiếu Nhi Thánh Thể, me included. And the core of who we are the 10 điểm tâm niệm. You know, we read those every week before the Mass. Who memorizes them? Nobody. Remember those 10 rules of Thiếu Nhi because they make up who we are. First one is Thiếu Nhi mỗi sáng dâng ngày, niềm tôi đời sống hương bay ngoài cầu. So I can't translate the whole thing, but it's talking about offering your day to God each and every morning to pray. Prayer is part of our identity. Thiếu Nhi Thánh Thể nhiệm màu tôn sùng, rước lễ nhà chầu viếng thăm. This is talking about the need to go to Mass, receive communion, and to adore the Lord in the Holy Eucharist. The Eucharist is our identity. What's the third one? Thứ ba là gì? Tay nghe Chúa nằm, nhìn lên phấn khởi, chuyên cần hy sinh. Okay. So this is talking about the sacrifices. The cross. The cross is our identity. Just like Simba, we cannot run away from our past, and so we cannot run away from our cross. We must embrace our cross. Thiếu Nhi. Okay, this is talking about Tông Đồ. Okay. This is talking about our need to evangelize, our need to spread our faith. Thiếu Nhi nhiều mẹ đinh đinh, tức là gương sáng, xưng danh Tông Đồ. Okay, I remember that one. I've forgotten who I am. But chào cờ, they represent our identity. Cầu nguyện, rước lễ, hy sinh, là người Tông Đồ. So as you face the future, as you come into the future, I want you to remember, always remember your identity. Your identity is Thiếu Nhi. Your identity to change the world. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord always be a part of your identity.